We had a question. We had a couple questions out here. Go ahead.
So I'm thinking about it from the other perspective. If I have an adverse party that I want to get documents that I think exist in the cloud, do I need a subpoena to obtain those documents with respect to the adverse party or the vendor? And then who's paying for that? Do I have to pay for that, or does someone else have to pay for that?
That's a great question. There are a couple of cases that have come out over the last couple of years about this. The cases have held that you don't have to subpoena a cloud provider in the course of a normal litigation. You can do it. You don't have to do it. And then the cloud provider has defenses they can raise, privacy of data, confidentiality agreements with their customer. So the cases that I've seen have said you can issue just a normal document request. Here's a couple of them we had in the slide. You can issue just a normal document request to the party, and that encompasses whatever they've gotten in the cloud. And these are a couple of those cases. It's the party's duty to go to their cloud provider and get those documents, even if it costs money. That's just the way they chose to store their documents, and that's their own cost burden. And the defense that was raised in those cases, the parties were trying not to produce the documents that were in the cloud, and they were saying, hey, they're not in my control. I don't have them. Somebody else has them. You go chase them. And the court said, well, come on. Rule 34 says possession, custody, or control. You've got a contract with that cloud provider. Under that contract, you're permitted to access your materials. So they are within your control, and you have to go get them. Is there another question?
I think we had another question in the back. It's withdrawn.
There's one right back
Okay.
here. Yes, sir.
Yes, I have a question. Having moved a couple of times and changed web services, I know that you have to change your email address, and the day after you change, the old email address is gone. And all those emails are gone if you haven't downloaded them to your personal computer. And I worry about a cloud. A cloud company decides they're going to double their prices, and you go and find a cheaper vendor. How do you transfer the data from one cloud company to another when it's stored on their proprietary systems?
Great question. Greg, you want to address that?
Yeah, I mean, and you can do it. Like you said, you'd have to download the data, the email, offline and then upload it into your new cloud provider. But that, I mean, when we say documents here, that also refers to emails. Nowadays, a lot of companies are pushing their documents and they're hosting their email out with a third-party provider. It used to be back in the day where it's just a Yahoo or a Gmail, but now corporations are actually storing it out in the clouds there too. So you do have to keep into those concerns. You know, when you do switch providers, because I've done it personally too, you change internet providers and then they get rid of your account. Well, in that case, what you do is download the data into Outlook or wherever it may be, and then you can re-upload it into whatever other provider.
Which may not be so easy to do.
Well, for the layperson,
massive amount of data.
Yeah, for the layperson, it's not. I mean, an IT person could probably do it, you know, fairly easy, but for most people, it's not an easy thing to do.